Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another experiment where today we're taking a look at what would happen if Australia's Football League turned into a pyramid. So as we know, it's very similar to the style that the MLS have in very separate divisions and it being quite separate from each other, no promotion or relegation. But in today's episode, we are taking a look at what happens if they would. So before we get started, of course, make sure you leave a like and subscribe and leave a comment down below of any experiments you want to see in upcoming episodes. But we're just going to run through a few seasons today, see how the league performs, see if Australia can improve at all, and just generally how it may end up. So to start with, we can see in the A-League, there's a few big names. Melbourne City's in there, Newcastle Jets, of course, Western United, one of the newer teams in the A-League in real life. But we've also got teams like Gold Coast United, who's obviously in there. Canberra United as well, they're another team that's been moved up. Auckland City, Sydney FC. So there's big teams. There's some big teams in there. Looking in the next division down, where there are 2 promotion spots, I believe. Let me just double check that so I'm not saying that wrong. Yep, absolutely. 2 promotion spots. I've just seen it, so I don't know why that was so hard. But you've got clubs like Adelaide City, Bayswater City as well there. Sydney United. A great name. Wollongong Wolves, which is just incredible. So just putting that out there. Melbourne Knights as well, Edgeworth FC. So there's plenty of teams here. They're ranked 15th in Asia. If we go down again, we can again see there's even more. Another 2 promoted, 2 relegated from the 3rd division. They're in 29th ranking. And again, Inglewood United is one team in there. Obviously, Ipswich Pride is another team that I'm sure you're all fully aware of as you're big Australian division fans. And then we've got the Capital Premier League and such going down further, which again will link in with the divisions that are above in the pyramid. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how it works, how they progress with certain teams, how the division ends up looking with winners and that sort of thing. So what we'll do then is we'll jump ahead, take a look how things have gone and how things continue. So we're a year on now, and we can see Melbourne City is the winner of the division. Perth Glory getting second, so it looks like there's going to be some Champions League qualifications for them. And then down the bottom, we can see Gold Coast United got relegated, not winning a single game, and Tasmania United as well, also struggling a lot there. And quite comfortably, they were the ones relegated, which is a shame. Of course, always a shame to see a team relegated. But Rockdale Illingdon is the team to get promoted in the 2nd league. They have gone up along with Bentley Greens as well. Bayswater City and Sunshine Coast Fire are the relegated teams in that one. And then if we go down again, Dadongon Thunder, what a name, I love that. Didn't see that before. And Peninsula Power, both promoted in that one. And I'm sure as we continue down, you can see the promotions and relegations, that sort of thing, that have been going on indeed. So, yeah, there you go. I don't quite understand what the hell's going on here, as it looks like the same division has... I don't know if I've broken it or what. Anyway, with that said, let's take a look at Australia themselves. How have Australia done this season? I can't imagine there's much change. No, it looks like, I mean, they have dropped down, but nothing really of note. Reputation's 2-star, 1.5, 1-star, that sort of thing. Your level 13s for the divisions. Deakin University and Ballot SC being promoted. There you go. Very, very interesting there. Yeah, so there's not much to really look at. It's more just so you guys get an understanding of how the divisions work, and if it's something, a save that you may be interested in, I'll try and remember to pop it in the details below in the description. But let's jump ahead again and see if there's any further developments. So we're a few more years on now in 2025, and we can see there's been a few changes. So obviously Melbourne did win the first 2 seasons, but Sydney FC, Perth Glory, Wellington Phoenix as well, who's I believe is actually a New Zealand outfit in the Australian League. So there you go. Interesting to see there. Canberra United and Blacktown City being the ones relegated most recently. But we can also see the likes of Gold Coast actually back in the top flight, which is nice to see. Shows that they can bounce back. And there's a few other teams in there that maybe are newer, or I'm just mad. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. With League 2, though, Melbourne Victory, Bentley Greens, again, we've seen them get promoted before, and they've done it again. So they've gone up. Gold Coast United went straight back up by the looks of it. Canberra United, North Old Fury and Melbourne Victory, obviously, as we saw there. So a couple of interesting results there. It doesn't look like the A-League has actually gone up at all in the rankings, though. That's a little bit of a shame, but hey-ho, it happens. Dadang Dong Thunder, and I mean, that logo looks incredible. Looks a bit German Nazi thing, but that's fine. Marconi Stallions, Oakley Cannons, Campbell Town, Avondale, the most recent to be promoted. And then as we go down, what we should be able to see is the rest. I mean, you can just pause if you want to see that, because I'm not going through it all. I'll be honest. There's a lot of leagues to be going through. But it'll be quite cool to get one of the lower league sides up to the top of the Australian divisions, that's for sure. Looking at this, we can see maybe it has helped having this sort of division, as we can see the increase. We saw them down in 41st, I think it was. They dropped all the way to 50th before a giant spike to 34th, and then a constant increase up to where they are now at 30th. So that's a big one. Harry Suter being their key player, but the likes of Cameron Devlin is up there, and Alex Garbash as well. Gersbach, I think it is, actually. I'm not sure. Matthew Ryan, of course, as always. But 2.5 stars reputation now, so obviously increasing the league's reputation. Let's take a look at kind of competitions and that sort of thing. Have they managed to do anything of note? World Cup qualifiers, they've obviously, I'd expect them to qualify some World Cups. Got a quarterfinal of the Asia Cup, even though technically Australia's not an Asian team. Got to the second round of the World Cup, losing to France. So there you go. That's another one. Otherwise, pretty boring. There you go. Let's jump one more time. I think one more time. We might do 2. We'll see. And be back in a second. All right, we are back again 5 years on from previously in 2030, and the A-League 1 has shot up to second in the reputation rankings. I mean, that's very, very impressive. We can see in 2027 they were 8th, and it was just constant growth up into second, just behind the UAE Professional League, which is interesting. But that's obviously a massive, massive sign and a great sign. We can see that there's top 4 now get what looks like Asian continental football. We can see the likes of Sydney FC and Perth Glory are the last 2 teams to win it over the 5 years. So they're obviously 2 of the bigger sides. Adelaide United and Macarthur getting up the top there. Maitland FC, that's a new name, I think, up there. Sydney United as well. Canberra United, we've seen maybe a bit of a yo-yo club, and North Old Fury as well. Let's take a look at the next division down. They've actually gone down, I think. Oh no, they have gone up, because I think they were 14th. So that's pretty impressive. The second division still being high. Tasmania United being the most recent champions, but it looks like there's not much of a yo-yo teams in there. Obviously, Canberra United have won it a couple of times now over the last 10 or so years, but otherwise pretty pretty much different teams winning it. That's what I'm trying to say. Then we go down again, A-League 3rd Division. Hume City's won it a couple of times in there. But again, this is the division with great names. Bonnyrigg White Eagles, Dandenong Thunder, Wollongong Wolves. I love it. I tell you what, if you want to manage any teams, I'm saying go for Bonnyrigg White Eagles, which looks like the Serbian flag. Interesting. Dandenong Thunder or Wollongong Wolves, just because of that name. I mean, imagine saying Wollongong Wolves over and over again. Phenomenal stuff. Phenomenal. But yeah, so it looks like if you go down as well, generally the Australian division has improved, which is great. It shows that maybe it is the right thing to do, is move it into more of a structured pyramid rather than just random games like the MLS seems to like to do. But let's take a look at Australia and how they've cracked on. So actually, it looks like they've dropped massively off. We saw them in the 30s, 27, late 27s, but they've dropped all the way down to 52nd now. So it seems like even though the leagues may be improved, the players haven't necessarily, and maybe that's partly because of transfers. If we might see some big names coming in from abroad, but it doesn't really look like it. Most of it looks internal, to be honest. Especially the bigger ones. I mean, is there any Pescara? Maybe there's one in the top lot, and then Fenerbahce down there, a transfer from them. Rio Ave, Nice, Pro Vercelli. But yeah, it's limited. It is certainly limited. So that's a bit of a strange one, really. I guess they maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the players just aren't great. I have no idea. Or they're moving on quite quickly. As we can see here, we've got Ryan Mullen off to Young Boys. We've got John Gillies to Sassuolo. But then you'd expect him to be better. Anyway, I don't know. We'll see. Let me know if you play this. Save this. What is it? I don't know what it's called. Let me know. It's a bit of an interesting one. I might have to look at doing that sometime down the road, looking at the pyramid style saves, whether that's MLS or Australia. But we will leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel. And of course, leave a comment down below of any kind of experiments you want to see, and I can see what I can get done and get them going. But thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.